You know that band that's supposedly goth and the name is Empathy Test? Well, this is my empathy test. For those of you who don't know, an empathy test is a sadistic ritual that personality disordered cluster B people use when they choose a target. They do what is called an empathy test to see if that target, what their level of empathy is. They will create some false drama from their victim complex and malignant narcissism, and then they will play the victim and cry wolf ad infinitum. And there are even videos online like killers who choose their prey by how they walk and all this nonsense. But as I said, society has, and the collective unconscious and conscious has just become a three-ring shit show that I am no longer a part of. It's not starting anymore. Those of you who know, I'm referencing the band Ultrasun from a lyric in their last record. But anyway, so an empathy test is basically they will create this false thing, cry wolf, when they choose a target to see how they can manipulate. And if you read the book Confessions of a Sociopath by M.E. Thomas, it's interesting, it may as well have been written by me. As I quoted the Bhagavad Gita, those who worship other gods, objects, or false idols because of their love, they only worship me. And that was supposedly the Most High God speaking. I never asked to be worshipped, but I realized that the only way to really survive at all is society has to learn to worship one another because they've committed so much crime, there's nothing left. So I let people for literally almost half a century or more, however many lifetimes, I let them believe that I was nothing but pure empathy, and I was. It's real easy to like Policy of Truth, great song, brilliant. But again, who's actually being vulnerable there? You can't just steal all of God's ideas and the divine muse and then walk around and not pay for it. One of my favorite records of all time is Ultra by Depeche Mode. There's a lot of occult things even in the name. That song, Barrel of a Gun, is absolutely brilliant with the percussive thing. And it's really weird that the producer, almost unironically, forget his name, he went on to become a chef, because I was talking about food. Again, what even is food at this point? It's divine energy, but only for those who have been approved by God. And at this point in time, there really is nobody who's been approved. So they test someone to see what their level of empathy is. And the fatal flaw of people, that's why I'm a benevolent psychopath, because I'm smart enough to know what other true personality disordered people who are incapable of empathy understand. I know that at the end of the day, nobody can hide from God. And that's where, hence the name lingerie skateboards. As far as God is concerned, you are walking around in your lingerie and it doesn't look good on you, whoever I'm speaking to metaphorically and literally. And so there's probably a reason that God allowed my wife's Saint Laurent $3,000 Saint Laurent lace dress to be stolen because the person wanting to steal her energy woke up in their own nightmare. And that's what people learn. When I say I'm a realized master, I have experienced the oneness of all things, literally. I'm not joking. And God is the ultimate shapeshifter. If he wants to confuse you, and that's what his specialty is, nobody does an empathy test like God does. Talk about playing the long game. He is in it for eternity. And I am in a place to judge because I gave my entire life to God. I have nothing left. As I said, I'm just trying to eat my taco salad and return to sender the endless shit show word salad that's been projected on me. So I don't find band names like that very funny. I don't know. Maybe it's my unconscious band name. Maybe I'll make a song called Empathy Test. But again, the way I have been treated as an absolute criminal, as a degenerate, it's clear to me that I was forced to find God because I was forced to. I know what hell is, and not many people. There's nobody else that I have ever met who really understands what's at stake spiritually, especially the Bible thumping preachers and all this stuff. They will just find out when they get there. But this talk that I'm giving in the company of the truth, because I speak only the truth, and I am a channel for whatever divine energy comes through me, but I'm also me. People don't realize you don't have the freedom to truly be yourself unless you have completely surrendered to God. And a good example of that is someone, I commissioned an artist in a darkwave band that is a great band. I stopped listening to them much when I found out the lead singer was worshiping the evil one. They'll find out, but I enjoy listening to that band. I want to get back to it, and one of the members of the band was really amazingly sweet to me. Just in passing, she knows who she is. But this pedal that was done, I had it done in the motif of the old school Boss pedals. There's an artist who does them, and I was trying to befriend this person online. I'm not getting into the whole story. But it's sad because it just has become like a narcissistic shit show where, good luck trying to send people a message and make friends with them. If you're not scared to death to message me, then you don't realize how urgent it is that you humble yourself and, at the very least, thank me. And I'm not going to say the name, the drummer of the band Failure, God bless him. He's wished me a happy birthday several times in a row. And it would be great to collaborate with him, but right now I can't work with anyone other than my divine counterpart at the moment. So this pedal was done with the Head Over Heels, which is that is the birth of goth gaze. I'm not a big fan of the lyrics anymore. I'm not a big super Elizabeth Fraser fan, whatever. I don't even want to name names in the industry, but she's, people love her for a reason. But Head Over Heels, blast that on some incredible speakers like these made in Germany, and it is Nirvana. I mean, brilliant. That record is amazing. It's that's pretty much their first record, Garlands and Head Over Heels. Those are pretty much the only two Cocteau Twins records that I really, really love. Bluebell Knoll is pretty amazing. I have that on 12-inch. I think I actually had a copy of Head Over Heels that was originally belonged to Robin Guthrie himself, which is crazy. Again, I'm not... So, and then... the logo for my band, I had this art drawn up. It's like Tattoo Flash or just a basic, you can find it anywhere. The skeleton hand holding the rose, the resurrecting hand holding the rose, which became an emblem also for my guitar, my signature distortion, the Bone Flower, Ground Effects Bone Flower. But and it was beautifully done, and then I had the left knob says savoir, and the right knob says faire, which is a reference to the song Savoir Faire by the London Suede off the record Head Music. It's absolutely brilliant, but again, that song is just a masterpiece. So I was basically making this custom, and then it says ferrarilover on the pedal, and then I don't know if it says F22. I changed it. But again, God is the ultimate shapeshifter. And a lot of times I have been disguised in the presence of my enemies so they can't recognize, what's going on or who the hell, who, what, where, when, why, or who the hell Jennifer is. You know what I mean? They don't really understand what is happening because if they did, God knew. God knows everything. So that song Savoir Faire is so brilliant, but it romances addiction. But again, if I am a master of anything, it is making people fall in love with me. At the end of the day, they will realize it. And helping people fall in love with God and finding out without that. And having savoir-faire of just being a professional at life. And yes, I'm definitely an alien, but I look like I don't, those creepy images, like I love this deck, the glow deck. Look at that dipped glow deck by Alien Workshop. That's customized for me. That's the lingerie version. But anyway, as I said, I'm really freaking exhausted, and I just want to make this quick thing that as of this moment, and you know, it is the book, The Power of Now, is proof that really all there ever is this moment. And no matter how much people think they've figured out, you've never figured anything out. That's the line, never figure me out. I'm just so tired of people like, you know, that was the hardest part for me, is just allowing people to just play in my face in the most disgusting ways. And then, you know, they find out. So we're coming to a time where people are going to publicly repent. I mean, literally. You're going to see some of the most powerful people on the planet. They're going to repent and beg God. And they're going to find out that if it's not, if all the love they have greedily hoarded for themselves, if they don't wake up and realize that they need to share that, they need to worship their fellow man as much as they worship themselves, or all is lost. Because it's just, you know, I'm a recluse for a reason. So yeah, I'm no longer, the reason it was the dude ringing the bell and telling me that he's going to repaint my house that just, you know, I was hoping I wouldn't have to, because it's just not my steez. I don't want to, like, you know, there's a reason I'm a kind of mysterious vibe, is because I don't enjoy, like, endlessly talking about myself. Contrary to, you know, I love Love and Rockets, but there's that line in a song, everyone loves to hear their name, please call my name. I'm over it. I don't need people calling my name unless they genuinely, like, want to connect with me on an artistic level and they're coming with some level of realness. Most people are not even remotely qualified. Most people who think they're 10 times superior to me are not even qualified to ring my doorbell. So, and I guess, you know, God works in mysterious ways, because I have to say it. So, but having experienced nirvana, the dark side of that is that I inherited the collective unconscious trauma. So this artist sent me this pedal print, and I sent a lot of friendly messages, and I'm not trying to come across like a fanboy. I'm trying to start conversation. Long story short, they have a pedal print on their site that is the exact same color motif. And instead of saying ferrarilover on it with the resurrecting rose, a skeleton out of the rose, it says self-destruct. It's pretty clear to me what the fuck kind of bullshit that is. The other person in the band was super fucking cool to me. And they know who they are, and they know why. And they're a brilliant bassist and guitarist. Amazing. Underrated. That's the difference. One of them was totally cool and amazing to me at the show, even when I had a cane and all this stuff. I mean, if someone has a cane, remember, it's more likely that they paid the cost to be the boss than that there's someone beneath you. Believe me. But I don't appreciate the self-destruct pedal print that is being advertised and essentially aimed at me. Again, let's refer to one of my favorite, musically, Barrel of a Gun is a masterpiece. But Dave Gahan has not spent 5 minutes staring down the barrel of a gun, nor has Martin Gore. I have actually been shot in the face with something a lot worse than a gun. All the collective hostility. Having your false twin flame break your heart in the most horrific way and leave you for dead. You know... And I absolutely have carried the collective karma for too long. And I spent way too long. One of the first poems I ever wrote, I was a poet before I wrote songs. It was called Looking Through Eyes Not My Own. And is really sad. It's a sad thing ever since I was a kid. And what I have realized in this moment is that there is not another person alive other than my divine counterpart. Well, undead. Let's say dead undead. That's where we are. Nobody wants to be... I mean, So Alive is a brilliant song, but when you find out the many meanings of So Alive, sometimes there are things that need to be dead. But I'm no longer carrying the collective unconscious bullshit projected at me. I'm not. And people who laugh and they make fun of my Kundalini awakening, it's not an accident that that guitarist bassist, who is the only person who loved my post years ago on 2021 before I released Dark Cool, and she, you know, you have no idea like how I don't crave the spotlight, and yet I'm a born rocker. I'm a walking contradiction. But I don't, this is not my steez. Like I said, I would just rather be, but because I'm always in meditation, people joke about my issues driving. There's a reason that I have issues driving, because my whole existence is merged enough to an extent with divine energy that I would have to come out of meditation a little bit more to feel safe. There's a difference between the normal, and again, I'm not afraid of driving fast, not at all. But I am afraid of the way other people drive. Like I used to drive back and forth to LA all the time and magic, but the people out there are, they're completely unconscious driving around. It's not safe. And those weird Waymo cars, I mean, that is some creepy shit. Talk about Palantir and all of this. Look, at the end of the day, the world needs people like me. And I don't, when I say I want to thank me, yes. But I owe all the thanks in the world to the Most High God, and how he used the divine play of consciousness to keep me from harm until people talk about it all the time. I basically was dead for a time and came back to life. There are people who've had that. It happened, I think, twice to me. And it wasn't, it's just a feeling that I have. It's not any that's totally wrong. The near-death experience, both near-death experiences that I had were so terrifying that I think of them as like death and rebirth in Christ, in divine light. And I mentioned Muktananda and all those books and everything like that. But what I'm saying is I absolutely have had to, people don't realize. And I said I was talking to ballerinas. Ballerinas, like, the reason I love skateboarding, a true street skating, none of this SLS shit. Although, early street league is cooler, but true street skating is ballet on concrete. And anyone who knows ballet, it is skateboarding and ballet are the two most rigorous sports there are. And then a close second's probably figure skating. I mean, all of it is tough I was a soccer player and ski racer. And as I said, I didn't go no contact with people who weren't basically throwing me away like trash day in and day out and day in and day out for literally half a century. I mean, I only do it for self-preservation, and I don't like calling people out on stuff. But, people who have done wrong will realize they need to repay the favor. I was only trying to protect this person, embarrassing myself, trying to protect people just by, being genuine and real. Imagine that. The earth angels on this earth they're just genuine fucking people, which again is why I absolutely love that song, People Are Poison by Cold Cave. And there's a lot of amazing songs by him that's hard for me to listen to because like I said, he's one of the few artists that I recognize. He understands pain. There are not many people because they glamorize it. And that's what I'm saying. If you actually knew what it was, how much more hardcore you have to be to worship the Most High God than to worship anything else. I mean, you have no idea. People think pansies worship God. That's why I didn't use the word hardly ever. But the truth is I'm a realized Vedanta meditation master, and I always bow to the divine nature in those whom I come across. And I've reached the end of my rope where I'm just done with that. And then, I'm done with people withholding basic respect and kindness. And people need to open their eyes, too, because I think, people know that line, lost my mind in love, but I'll always have barely black. That is very profound. I mean, I was going through a very painful second Kundalini psychosis at the time that was so traumatic and terrifying. And, but it also, I'm not going to give any more personal details, but don't you dare make a mockery and point your wimpy. You think a Glock 17 scares me? No, think again. I'd be scared to have it in my house. I made that mistake before. I will never have a weapon in my house ever again. I mean, I grip skate decks. That's about it. But there are parts of me that I look back and I can't even remember the nerves of steel I had to have to film that video. I was barely standing up. People see their own projections and jealousies, and believe me, they wouldn't want to have to go through. But now they get to go through it, which is like world in my eyes. I don't think that anyone in that band has lived for a solid hour of their existence completely. When I say empathy, and this is ever since I was a kid, there's a reason I was constantly bullied. There's a reason I would hide and cover myself with the covers and nap and walk the hallways alone, you know, in elementary school and make jokes because my IQ was on par with the smartest adult at the time. I just didn't, you know, kids wanted to play boys chase girls and all this bullshit. And, you know, people forget. I mean, I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm gonna leave it. What I'm trying to say is, it is, you know, I changed the lyrics to Barely Black. I changed it on Bandcamp. And basically my lyrics are shapeshifters. You never know what exactly is going on because at any moment, there's always something else going on. This is like, again, read Play of Consciousness by Muktananda. But basically what I'm saying is you don't get to reap the benefits of worldly success and everything you've ever wanted. And put third eye, is it the eye? It's not the eye of Horus. It's the third eye. You know the cult name, the triangle with the third eye. It's also omni, whatever. It represents the third eye. Yeah, I just, it's not an accident that the first thing I ever really did as a public performance, I was, despite being incredibly shy and dealing with way too much bullshit, and you know, I'm facing my fear of public speaking is not hard for me. I've remained silent for so long that's why I know God is pushing me to tell the truth and at least and show people. I mean, if you think that, you have no idea the power in my voice and the level of sophistication and my IQ. Don't ever laugh in my face again and tell me that I have 100 IQ. Look up the song 100% by, it's the only song, well, there's a few songs I like by Sonic Youth. My IQ is completely, doesn't even apply. IQ doesn't apply to someone like me. What about your emotional intelligence quotient and all this shit? And at the end of the day, it's the people who are the most sadistic people who think they are ruining other people's lives, who, you know, this, right now, I am wiping the smile right off the face of, like, millions of people, and it will never come back. And I don't know where those people are or what, but they're not, wherever they're going, they're not going to be anywhere near me. I guarantee you that. And I just, you know, if you think it's so easy to manifest and proclaim it and say an affirmation, and then all of a sudden it appears, me being able to do that, it's taken lifetimes of, a lot of times people do affirmations and it ends up being the opposite, or the opposite of the opposite of the upside down and backwards. Essentially, we have lost the meaning collectively of words. And I literally had to reinvent the English language. That's what my thesis is. At lingerie, or laceofspadesrecords.com/literature. I will publish it as a book at some point. But again, I'm not trying to make money off of my art or my gifts or being myself. But yeah, I'm tired of being so restricted and not being free to just, you know, I've been eviscerated and publicly humiliated for so long, and I can only play dumb for so long before I'm not going to allow it to kill me again. Because that's the other thing. way deep down, everyone who has ever smear campaigned me and been on a mission to exclude me and humiliate me and make a mockery out of me and all this shit, they are doing it to themselves and have been. Because someone who can truly look through the eyes of another person, that's more than just empathy. And it's because I experienced the state of nirvana. You can make fun of me all day long until you find out that every single piece of media, whether it's a movie, a short form, a TikTok, a this or that, everything you see, even unconsciously, if it's negative, it will start to manifest in other people's lives, because God will only allow his children, there's this chosen shit is bullshit. But, again, God never takes free will. I gave my free will over, and I have to take it back for a few moments and say, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore for anyone else. Because I know if there is a God, and believe me, I know there is a God, he does not want me to not even be able to watch a freaking YouTube video without taking on the karma of the half-asleep, brain-dead people with massive egos making them. Just so you know, it doesn't make you look masculine and sexy and powerful to talk about alpha, theta, whatever. What's the new one? The lone wolf, the this and that, all these motivation videos. I mean, they're basically, society has become evil and sadistic. It's almost like the more of a criminal you are, the more power you have. And so people will find out. A person with a true heart of diamonds, which is so rare. That's, the only other person. There's one, my divine counterpart exists for a reason, or I wouldn't be here. And believe me, you never know where the hell she is or what the hell she looks like. People think they have me figured out. You don't know what the hell is going on. And you're certainly not going to make fun of me that I'm in love with some celebrity, when the reality is I've been your celebrity your entire life. You just didn't know until now. But I'm not a movie star in your ridiculous movie. Believe me. And any true man would never be addicted to pornography, let alone name a record pornography. But I have done nothing but truly love the goth community and every artist in it. And I've had people, as I said, I hung out with these people and it was great. I've had some interactions that weren't that great, and I'm just, we're past the bluffing part. This is not about me extending a hand of friendship. Now, it's not about being real. People are finding out that they're every single word they speak, and the ground underneath them, and their rent, and their fucking meal ticket, and their entire life and persona, and their face, and their house depends on treating me the way, worshiping me the way they would want to, the way they've worshipped whatever the fuck else they think they're worshiping. And sound guys are finally going to come back and actually make concerts good again, because nobody is having fun. Talk about, the band Dive is great. Perfect example. I am not living the karma. If you are an artist of any type, especially an edgy, dark, shoegaze, goth gaze, dream pop, dark wave, synth pop, new wave, psych gaze, shoegaze, up, down, right, left, a la destra, sinistra gaze, cold wave, Ferrari gaze, dark wave, forever dark, cold wave, industrial, tech, whatever, minimal, deep tech. EDM is not a genre. EDM is collective schizo. When I first got into electronic music really into it in like the 1999, early 2000s, and trance and John Digweed, there's that song by, it's a progressive house track, with a gun in my hand, etc. It's anyone who knows Global Underground Los Angeles, it's in classic. I saw Sasha and Digweed in person in New York City, and it was just a lot of it I don't remember. I was friends with electro clash bands. My friends would come to my apartment for the pre-party, the Bat Cave on 7th Street. You want to pay homage to me? Go to East 7th Street. in New York City, because that's where I did a lot of my deep sadhana before I ever met any master. That's where I taught myself video art. And I was not, I didn't go out. I wasn't big into going out. I like smaller venues. And I truly have never enjoyed alcohol at all. But again, talk about frog in boiling water. I mean, Cruel World Fest, that's not funny. Enjoy naming it while it lasts, because it's officially over. You're going to find out, and it's time for everyone involved to reap the benefits of naming everything about cruelty and sadism. This is my cruel summer. It's my turn to be cruel. I don't have a choice. And as I said, the divine intelligence and God does it for me. People will know when they meet us in person and they meet me in person with my other half. They will know that they owe every shred of dignity that they have to us, because we paid the ultimate price, and we're not going to be pushed around anymore by a bunch of bullshit. Talk about useless. This is me speaking my truth of the fact that I have lived the song Useless by Depeche Mode my entire life, however many freaking lifetimes upon lifetimes. What does that even mean? People think they can fuck with me, and then they find out, they read like the abstract of my thesis, or they look at the table of contents, and they find out very quickly that they were playing with the wrong kind of fire. And again, that's the name of a record. All of this shit, disintegration and this and that. Like I saw The Cure front row, a friend of mine who was a high-level specialist doctor at the time from Greece, and he got us tickets, and it was incredible. So I am both eviscerating and worshiping my fellow artists. But they're going to find out really quickly what I am worshiping in them is simply the structure of organized society. I'm nobody's fucking fanboy. You don't have to autograph your goddamn pedal for me, and you sure as hell don't have to make a mockery of my trying to extend an olive branch and make a self-destruct pedal. I wasn't born this morning. That's a French quote. Qu'est-ce que tu penses que je suis né ce matin? Non. Give me a break. And I'm the one who made Saint Laurent, who turned everybody on to Saint Laurent, because Rick Owens is not really it. I mean, yeah, everybody has what they like. Early Helmut Lang, whatever. I mean, stop stealing my wife's dress. Stop taking my clothes. There was a few items of mine that were taken, and it's like, yeah, people have no idea. If you want to laugh at my Kundalini psychosis and make fun of me at my worst and push me out and not include me and allow your whatever, I don't even know what movie they were seeing, because anyone, whoever, even if they receive some type of psychotic message from me when I was in an altered state because of the absolute stress and hell I've been through with my health issues or whatever that just pushed me over the edge, anyone with a shred of decency in their heart could see that they would be lucky to call me their friend. The guy was trying to collab with people. I had to leave that band I was in 2013 because there was so much weed in the practice space, whatever. And those of you in bands who've been really cool to me, you know who you are. There's a couple of them in the band Crew Lies. The lead singer, you know how hard it was for me to get to that show, and I'm not going to name people's names because I'm just done trying to, learn about people and be friends with them, because they're too busy. So now people are going to find out that I'm fucking busy. I mean, there are people who were once laughing at me, and they're literally, they would do anything to be able to send me a message at this moment. I guarantee you. But when I said I love that song, Simulacrum, and everybody in the band was cool about it, And then, but the lead dude was like, oh, I'm surprised you know what that is. When I said, referencing Baudrillard, yeah, bro, like, I'm, glow, give me my life back.